This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Karen Smith from the National Technology Committee, and I'll be moderating today's discussion. Our topic is obtaining GuideStar Gold level of distinction. I would like to introduce Ann Whitaker, who's VP of Strategic Planning. She has with her the experts from the National Strategic Planning Committee. Could you introduce your experts, Ann?
Absolutely. Thanks, Karen. We have Peggy Cotter, Becky Lowell, Kim Barker, and Cindy Guerreri here with us today.
Thank you. Would you start us off and explain exactly what GuideStar is?
Yes, thank you. GuideStar is the world's largest source of information on nonprofit organizations. GuideStar is a self-reported platform for nonprofits to tell their stories beyond the basic information required on the IRS 990 tax form. GuideStar.org helps potential donors gain powerful knowledge and insight into nonprofit organizations so they can make informed decisions on giving. Nonprofits earn various levels of distinction on GuideStar based on the amount of information they share. The 4 levels of distinction are bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Interestingly enough, GuideStar is also a nonprofit whose mission is to provide information that advances transparency, enables users to make better decisions, and encourage charitable giving.
Cindy, could you tell us why chapters should use GuideStar?
Sure. Millions of potential donors and funders could be looking at your profile. GuideStar has more than 200 partners. When you claim and update your profile, which is free of charge, you can be certain of what they learn about your chapter. You'll be able to get donations directly through your profile with such portals as Amazon Smile, Facebook, Just Give, Network for Good, Salesforce.org, and Volunteer Match. You can also reference your GuideStar profile on grant applications.
That's a lot. Becky, is there a list that tells me what information is needed to obtain gold level of distinction in GuideStar?
Yes, Karen, there is. There's a checklist on the national website for Strategic Planning Committee, and then we have a page of our own. And it lists the documents that you should gather prior to starting your GuideStar organizational profile update. In addition to the checklist, there are 2 additional informational documents that are available on the Quick Links page on the members side of the national website.
And why is National recommending that chapters obtain gold status? Peggy, could you help us?
National Assistance League set that goal for chapters to receive the gold participant level so that we as an organization can demonstrate our commitment to transparency and information sharing. Sharing information beyond the IRS requirements can make your chapter look more appealing to prospective donors as well as to potential member volunteers. A recent research report published in the Journal of Accounting, Auditing, and Finance analyzed a group of 6,500 nonprofits in the GuideStar database. Of the nonprofits studied that earned a GuideStar level of distinction, on average, 53% more was received in contributions the following year compared to organizations that did not earn a distinction level. GuideStar nonprofit profiles with a gold or platinum level of distinction received twice as many views as profiles without those levels of distinction, and contributions were 11% larger for the gold and platinum profiles.
So Kim, can a chapter choose to go above gold level of distinction to platinum?
Absolutely, Karen. National chose the gold level of distinction as the goal because it's a level that all chapters are capable of achieving now. Platinum level requires program metrics that not all chapters currently measure. Several chapters have, however, earned the platinum level of distinction, and kudos to those chapters.
Becky, does the recent name change to Candid affect the process or a chapter's GuideStar level of distinction?
No, it does not. Early in February of 2019, Yes, Foundation Center and GuideStar combined to operate as a new organization called Candid. The merger does not affect the process of updating an organizational profile or earning a seal of distinction.
So how do chapters start the process of achieving the gold status on GuideStar? Cindy?
Well, first you need to go to guidestar.org and claim your profile. You need to actually request access to your organization's profile. With this, you need to get approval. They need to verify you are part of your organization, and then they'll approve your access. After that, you can update your profile and share your story.
Kim, is there anything special that I should keep in mind while updating our profile?
Karen, I am so glad you asked that question. Yes, there is one very important thing to keep in mind, and that is you'll want to hit the Save button rather than the Submit button until all information has been entered. If you want to update your board, you can update that in the bronze section, hit Save, go on, review the silver section, hit Save again, then move on to gold, review that before you hit Submit. If you hit Submit immediately after submitting the bronze section, it will drop your chapter status back to bronze level. So to avoid that happening, be sure and hit Save until the very end.
Okay, how will I know that I successfully updated my profile then, Peggy?
Your chapter contact person will receive an email from GuideStar, and it will say that you've achieved that level of participation and indicate the criteria of what it would take to get to the next level. GuideStar also provides you with information on where to download the GuideStar widget to display on your website.
Great. Can your committee give us some pointers so that chapters are prepared for the process of updating the chapter GuideStar profile?
Yes, we can. First of all, read ahead. Consider all the information and supporting materials needed to complete the bronze, silver, and gold levels on GuideStar. Next, assemble key data. You'll need to gather some basic chapter information, your board member names, some financial information. You should have your chapter strategic plan handy, program information, and program outputs and outcomes. Next, draw on some key people. Invite contributors from across your organization, including committee chairmen who are responsible for programs, evaluation, public relations, development, and strategic planning. You may also want to involve board members or general member volunteers or other external partners as appropriate. Multiple perspectives will strengthen your process and the resulting profile on GuideStar. Make sure to ask other members, including the marketing committee, to review the profile before submitting to GuideStar.
And remember to think about how your chapter responses are connected one to the other. Your complete report will tell a cohesive story about your chapter and how you are impacting the community and those you serve. As you connect the dots between where you are now and where you want to be, consider your assumptions. What do you need to explain as you respond to these questions? Which of your assumptions should you articulate? Be sure to include specific examples and measures where appropriate. Though you won't be able to detail everything you've done or are doing in your chapter, readers do appreciate having your statements grounded with specific examples.
It also helps to use declarative sentences. Think about your donors and people not associated with your organization reading your statements. They are your audience. Be clear. Don't ask the reader to guess what you mean. Also be concise, including only necessary supporting information. Be specific, incorporating numbers and examples where possible. And please use commonly understood language. Avoid jargon and avoid using Assistance League acronyms.
That's great information. Becky, how often must the GuideStar profile be updated to retain our gold level of distinction?
To retain that gold level distinction, the profile must be updated every 18 months. If a chapter does not update at least every 18 months, it will revert to a basic status. However, we recommend that a chapter update the profile annually after the chapter receives a financial review or an audit.
You also need to remember that your charting impact question answers can be changed and edited as your strategic plan changes and adapts to your unique chapter's situation and common community needs. The 5 questions to reach a gold level distinction are called the charting impact questions.
So Kim, who should be responsible for updating the profile annually?
Well, actually, the National Strategic Planning Committee recommends that the Vice President or Chairman of Strategic Planning be the person responsible for this activity. And for the task of annually updating the profile be added to his or her job description.
If a chapter gets stuck or has trouble, where can they go for help, Ann?
Yes, the National Strategic Planning Committee is here to help. We are here to help chapters reach the gold level of distinction on their GuideStar profiles. Please check out the documents that were referenced earlier by Becky on the Strategic Planning Committee page on the national website, or just send me an email at vpstrategicplanning@assistanceleague.org. I also want to close our podcast by thanking everyone for joining us and joining the National Strategic Planning Committee on our very first podcast. We look forward to seeing every Assistance League chapter reach the GuideStar Gold status.
If I could get it.